Hi, good afternoon and welcome to my channel. My name's Natalie and this is Sew Stitch Sew Nat. You can find me on Instagram as Sew Stitch Sew. Today is Friday the 26th of September. It's been a month since my last Flosstube and I've been busy. So the Caterpillar Cross Stitch retreat was last weekend and I've also picked up like a bake-off challenge game. And I have touched lots of things. Yeah, I'm not going to sit and count them, but there was quite a few projects. And I have 4 FFOs, 1 FO, 4 new starts, and a lot of haul. Not so much leading up to the retreat, but at the retreat, and then a little bit after as well. Some of which is here today and other bits aren't. Yeah, the background is what it is. So this is Flosstube 64. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. For those returning, thank you very much for continuing to watch me. I know there's lots of choice out there, and I will try and look at the camera rather than at the screen, which is what I always do. So first of all, I've got the FFO for the Aquarium by Luca-S. I'll insert the video now because I've pre-recorded that. As you'll see, I also pre-recorded the finish of my dad's card, which is a Nia Cross Stitch, if I didn't say that in the video. I also decided to abandon a project, which is the Nerida by Faby Reilly. It was a mystery stitch along, that's what, oops. And the Royal Mailman's going to come here, isn't he? Because that's the way life goes. I don't know, maybe not. So the little scissor fob there is what I made, but I didn't quite make it in the style that they said. Sorry, it slipped down. My finishing is a little bit dodgy, but it's just for me anyway. And that's what that looks like. Stitched with the Call for Tom and Lily on Smoky Blues Wygart 32 count linen. There is some petite treasure beads in there, just for the silver bits, and that's as far as I got with the sale that I started late. And yeah, now decided that I don't want to stitch it anymore. She's fine. Oops. So my other FFO was my Smalls exchange for the Caterpillar Cross Stitch retreat. Oh, sorry, it's it. And you had to stitch something. I thought it was an animal with starting with the first letter of your name. I think other people did. Oh no, it's something starting with it. Definitely started with the first letter of your name anyway. And I found this cute Narwhal pattern. That says it's a Tormaline line pattern. It was on it, so all DMC. I did mine on a 32 count navy linen by Wygart. Here's a picture of that. I did actually forget to take a picture of it before I handed it in, so luckily I managed to find the person that received it and she was very happy with it. So yeah, I actually and I chose fabric on the back, which I don't know, I've not got the rest no, I've not got the rest of it with me. I did think about putting some trim on it, but the trim that came didn't quite match it, so I left the trim off. So that is my 4 FFOs. Now for the FO, which I actually finished at the retreat and got to ring the bell, and I didn't think I'd have the nerve to get up and do it, but I did. And this was on the Sunday I rang the bell. And that is, so this is Terry Pratchett, Binky in Death, on a 32 count cloud fair in Cloud Summer Sky, which is, I got it from Lakeside Needlecraft here in the UK. It's just lovely subtle mottling on there. This is all DMC, 2/2, a little bit of back stitch, 3 French knots, and a little bit metallic. Yeah, absolutely love that. We'll definitely stitch another one for the husband, although I'm not sure which one I'm getting yet. This was by a designer on eBay. They sell kits and charts, but it's all paper based. Called Lyndisfarne. I'm sorry I'm butchering that. It has got a 1998 copyright on it, and this is still available. Yeah. How many set out? 2 of them were starts and finishes. I don't know, because yeah, one was a start and a finish. So 2 projects down, but I started 4. Hey ho. So shall we move on to whips? I'll do like my monthly goal one, which has been languishing. I did put some stitches into this, but I'm nowhere near where I wanted to be. I did revise it, but I think I have to revise it again. Bake Off is distracting me somewhat amongst other things going on. So this is Embroidery for Kids Art. This isn't available. It was on Etsy as a 4-pack. It basically put the form together, and it's the words of the song are in the characters. This on a 18 count Blackada, 2/2. Sorry, I haven't ironed it. I finished all the yellow now. Yeah, it's been slightly personalised, but I'm okay with that. So I'm doing the rest of the blue for his leg. And then I might come over to this side and then do the brown and then go up, I think. So I want this done for Christmas, so I need to get the skates on. I think they're only about 7,000 stitches each, give or take, depending on which one you're doing. And they do go into pattern keeper. So yeah, I just realised I've put the other basket over there that I was going to put all the stuff that I'd shown you into. So next is the dog project for the family member that no longer stitches. This is a China kit, it's a Pinn kit, and that's what it looks like when it's done. And I'm getting there, people, I'm getting there, ahead of target. I think it's a lot easier to stitch on than some of my other projects, which is why I'm more drawn to it. So I've just got to join that bit up and then fill that middle section in there. It's on a 14 count Ada, kit threads, 2/2. So yeah. apologise now because I will get interrupted because the Sainsbury's man's coming. And thought it was a good idea when I booked the slot to book it 2 till 3 and then end up having to work this morning, so hey ho. Let me just unzip this. So next is a Darth Vader, also a goal by Christmas, languishing seriously. So that's what it looked like when it's done. And I've just put some more work in. Sorry, there's lots of parked threads on this. Put some more work in on that. I did aim to do 3 blocks a night. Yeah. It's getting serious, people. This is going to be a race to the wire, I think, for Christmas. And my son wants it turned into a big cushion, so I've got everything to do it. Just need to do it. And some blocks aren't full coverage because some of the blocks are like down the outside or across the bottom. So I don't think it's as bad as it is, but it needs a lot of work and it's black. So yeah, the Lowry stand and the lamp need to get working along with me. Which one did that come off? I don't know. And yeah, so they're my 3 monthly goals. And then I've got some bake-off stitching. So I assigned 11 projects I hadn't touched this year and 2 new starts to this. So I'll show you the projects, but I won't tell you who they represent. And I am slightly behind on this as well. Just because life's been a bit busy. But this one I also took to swimming, so I don't think it's come out for the bake-off game, but I decided it was a good project for swimming. And this is Friends quotes. Don't know if it's still available on Etsy. By Stitch Area. And I'm doing mine on a 16 count white Ada. I've already done the top half. And the bit that I did was Yemen Road, so all of that wasn't there. I've done all of that. All call for DMC, 2/2. Even some of the back stitch is 2 threads, and some of it is 1 thread. I can't remember if I'm using Anchor black rather than DMC black on that. I suspect it probably is Anchor black, given the count of the fabric. Next, oops. So next is my Holly Jolly Kitchen, which is last year's Christmas stitch along by Nia Cross Stitch. I'll put a photo of what it looks like. And I'm almost done with part 1. So that's where we're at. It's on a 28 count linen. All the kit threads. It was a kit when I bought it. And just so you can keep up with it. I think it's the white on the, it's got a very pale green. It's a little hard to see in the evening, so maybe that's partially why it got abandoned, that and the miscounting. Next is Always Remember, which I'm changing, which is by Plum Street. If I didn't say that's Caterpillar Cross Stitch, who have featured quite heavily today. Mine's on a 32 count 32 count Belfast linen. Got quite a needle mark in that. So I just did some more filling on the house, and I am changing this, but there's no, you can't see, you can see the flags start to come in, which is one of the changes. So yeah, I can't remember how many stitches that's had, but next, Touch of Magic by Cross Stitch. This was also a stitch along. I'll put a photo of what it looks like. And I haven't even finished part 1. It's 32 count, even with 20. It must have been the kit fabric, but they don't normally do 32 count. Maybe it's 28. But it's definitely an even weave. And like I said, I've not finished part 1 yet. Next one I picked up, I say next one, I don't think they're in any particular order, was my Long Dog opening gambit. I think I've mentioned to you before, I was a little bit concerned about this project, that I maybe when I imported it had gone wrong. I've checked, and across that way it's fine, but down this way there is an extra 3 lines, I think it is. So I think my plan is just to gradually work down. At some point I need to unpick what I've done down here. But yeah, so I've started to use the paper pattern a little bit more. So I have actually started to put some back stitch in as I go. So I've done all of that bit down there, and in terms of what needs to be unpicked, it's this bit down here. So yeah, I do love Long Dog, but yeah, oh hey ho, we live and learn. And I'm stitching that on a 36 count white linen with Cottage Garden threads anthracite. 1 strand over 2. Yeah, 1 strand over 2. Sorry, zip. And that's it for the bake off. No, it's not, because I've got stitching on this morning, that's why. G's for Gingerbread Man by Wild Starry Snaps. I've already done 1, I'm doing my second one. And I'm currently in the process of unpicking and restitching, because I'm literally 1 out. But I want them to auto match, and the arms, the icing on the arms won't quite look right if I don't unpick it and restitch it. So I've got to take all of that out. But it's actually quite easy just to follow it back round. And then I started doing a few more filling stitches up there. So I've done 50 of 300 that's owed on this at the minute. And it's on a Cafe au lait fabric flare from Lakeside Needlecraft. I think it's either 36 or 40. 36 cream actually. So unlike most of Fabric Flare's fabric, this is just like a plain colour. It's really nice to work with. Although I did have a new nerge at one point, and I think I pulled too tight and pulled some of that. So I did destash quite a lot of my nerges. I've still got a couple. And destashed some Q-snaps, but I've still got a couple of those. So yeah, a bit of a clear out. Picked up 3 things out of the swap table, so that's not too bad, but you'll see them in haul. Oh, my leg's starting to go numb, so we don't want another instant, so I shall shuffle. Ooh. Right. So next, so these are just things that I've worked on just because. So this is my button box by Blackbird Designs from In Friendship's Way. It's meant to look like that. Mine won't. Sorry, I'm not giving you a good view of that. Mine won't, because I've gone a bit rogue with it and I've covered it up. But I've done quite a bit of one side, but I'll just show you as it is in the nerge. So most of the house is now done, and I've started the vine coming up here, but I've carried on using old money rather than swap the thread. Can't remember if that bit's meant to be old money or not. And I do plan on sort of brightening it up slightly. And I haven't managed to figure out what fabric this is. I don't think it might be a discontinued one. It's definitely a vintage something, but it's all like yellow and creamy. So I might have to do some research on that. I know I keep meaning to tell you. I don't actually know. So next is the one I normally stitch while I'm watching Lynne the Lancashire Stitcher, Sal, Stitch Dragons for Mum, and this is Our Forest Embroidery Star Dragon, and I'm stitching it using the DMC alternate, and I've just carried this is a big old piece of platinum, 36 count, and I'm doing it 1/2. So I've literally just carried that border down last time I worked on it, and there's only 4 colours in this chart, and I managed to get it into Pattern Keeper. You just have to be careful of the page breaks, so any bit of overlap I didn't include when I imported it. Next is With Thy Hands, which I normally stitch while I'm watching Sally from Flossie Sews and Grows. That's the booklet. I know Stitchy Sally's now working on this. She's already completed this as part of her 6 for 60. And I did some more work on the tree. This is on a 40 count Country Vintage Mocha linen in Newcastle by Zweigart. So I've just literally just been filling in this tree. 1 strand over 2. I might have put some more stitches in the house too. I'm doing a very good job of showing these today, am I? I think it's because I'm trying to rush and people keep walking past and I keep getting distracted. And this one I stitched while I'm watching Stitchy Sally, which is Possibilities Cabin in the Woods. We started it for her birthday. As you can see, I got the PDF one off Etsy, but it is available as a printed chart. Mine's on a 32 count slate grey even weave, core 4 DMC, 2 strands over 2. Sorry, I'm not taking these out of the hoop today, so I'm just trying to get through everything. So yeah, I just did a lot more work on the tree and kept on going. I love the colours in this. I wouldn't say it's particularly an evening project though, so I try and, well, neither's the other one, with die hands because it's 40 count. So I try and stitch it when it's daylight. Next I did a bit of work on my Cowlin Manning cell. This is what it'll look like when it's done. I can't remember what percentage I'm at, but I have now put the full chart into Pattern Keeper. So I think I just did a bit more on this border. I might have done some up here too. I was going to take it to swimming, but now the days aren't quite so bright. It's a bit hard to see sometimes if they've not got the full lighting on. That's why I swapped to the Friends one. But this is the Anchor Black, and for the life of me I can't remember the number of it at the minute. So yeah, I'll end up just trying to do a bit more of the border down here. As you can see, I've got the frames in up here. I just need to go and fill it in with some colour. And then last week, because I was at the retreat, and I know Lindy Stitch's retreat was this last weekend as well. I did think about booking a ticket and booking a class, and then thought, am I actually going to be able to catch up with it? So I decided no, I'm going to leave it. So I'll be at the Jingle Ball, but not this one. So I picked this one out just to get a bit of work on it on the Sunday. Realised I'd made a mistake and put it back down again. But I have now more or less, yeah, I've more or less fixed it. I haven't decided that's what it's finally gonna, the wording is finally gonna stay exactly where it is, and it's on a 32 count raw linen mice Weigart in 32. I think I just said that, 32 count. Core 4 DMC. There is a dinky die. There are beads, so I've got those. And I was having trouble with getting this border to match up because some of the wording was off, so I had to correct some of the wording. Luckily I hadn't done all the proper filling of this before I realised. So yeah, note to self, always do the border before you start filling it. And then once I've filled that in, it'll be good, easy stitch to just fill it all in. There's quite a few bits on here that are just fill-in stitches. So yeah, don't know if you can see that very well. And that was from Nashville last year. Right, should we talk new projects? So I started 4 new projects. Yeah, got a bit of startitis, I think. I could have definitely started some more. So the first one I started was 4 Seasons by Barbara Anna, and I know the Sal that Sarah from Sew Me Sarah is running is now on its last part, which is autumn. So I started with summer, and I have also started autumn now as well. Don't know if you remember, I've said about my fabric Yeah, I've gone right to the edge of my fabric. I'll take this off the hoop though so you can see all of it. I'll fold it over and do them one at a time. So that is my summer lady. Got quite a bit of her dress done. And then this is my autumn lady, and this is in Pattern Keeper, both of them. Call for DMC. This is 32 count linen in Dirty by Zweigart. My plan is to make it into a drum. Never made a drum, but that should be interesting. You don't know until you try, do you? And biscornues are nothing to be scared of. Yeah, I do like biscornues. So that is that one. And then what do I start next? I think I started my retreat project, and I chose Tiny Modernist Tea Goddess. This is all DMC, which I finally sorted out the other day. And this is on a 36 count. I want to say mushroom. Yeah, 36 count Edinburgh in mushroom. And I've got two other fabrics in here. I decided the platinum 36 count was too light, and then I just wasn't feeling the 32, so and that's a flax, so I can take those out. This is in Pattern Keeper. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm doing it 2 over 2. Just realised there's a bit of haul on there. So that is where I'm up to. I won't need all of this fabric, but I haven't cut it to size yet. And the needle minder is from Solux UK, who is vending at the retreat. And you'll see what the bits I got from her in a minute. Thought about the other thing that I really want to start stitching. Is that the next one? Let's say that's the next one. There's a hole in here as well. So this is the retreat kit. It's got Warwick Castle on, and then Stitch Retreat 2025 underneath. I can't believe it, someone's already finished this on the Facebook group. Yeah, mine's a bit of a pathetic start. It's on 14 count pale blue Ada. I did have to frog because I realised I picked up the wrong colour. And that's what mine's looking like. I did have a bit more there, but yeah, I realised it was the wrong colour, picked it out, and then started stitching it back in with the right colour, but it's still got a long way to go. That'd be a good swim project actually. It's quite blocky in colour once you get your bearings on it. And I'm stitching out with all the kit threads. Right. put that there. Right, there's some bits of haul in there, so I was just pulling that out of the way. And then I started, actually I think I started this one next. So the new sale for Caterpillar Cross Stitch started on Monday, which was Hello Holly. Here's a picture of part 1. It's a mystery stitch along, and I am well into the, well, I say well into the penguin, but need to finish the top of the candle. Just finished off his scarf. I did have to frog this because I put the leaf in the wrong place. It's on a 28 count linen. So I'm not sure it's quite the same as Fabrica's Holly Jolly Kitchen, but I also ordered the needle minder, which is Holly. Yeah, that's new as well. That's part of haul. All the kit threads, everything. And then my last new start. I say last. I think technically it got started first, because I think I started it right at the beginning of September, and I'm trying to find the cover photo. Picture, which is Blue Geisha by Joan Elliott, and I got this from Pole Stitches. I'm using all the Call for DMC with some Kryonics and beads, and I'm doing it on a I didn't realise there was Pole Stitch, well, should have thought about that, but the Pole Stitches fabric that was called for isn't quite the one I've got. I've got Atlantic 32 count Murano Lugana, so it's an even weave, and I've started right in the centre, and that's my little start. So it's got 150 stitches in it at the minute, due to get some more. Yeah, I was really loving working on that yesterday. And I finished sorting out the thread storage that just literally just sat in the bag waiting to go. So I kitted this up earlier in the year, sort of April, May time. I do need to make a working copy of that and try and digitise it as well. Right, so that's all the finishes, whips, starts, FFOs. In terms of plans, plan to carry on stitching like the Bake Off game, and monthly goals, and probably the, like, when I sit down to watch people, bring that back out. Yeah, need to crack on with my monthly goals really. I think when I see the end in sight, like with Binky and Death, I'll just literally go for it and then it'll be done. So I can see that happening with the dog project soon. But I really need to work on Darth Vader. He's the one that's going to take the time and the concentration. Right. I think I'm going to talk a little bit about, as though I haven't been talking about it, the retreat. So it's my first in-person retreat, and it was only about 20 minutes away from me. I didn't actually stop over, but I kind of wished I had, because then I could have had a drink, and I'm sure more laughter would have ensued after that. Had an amazing time with 7 lovely women that were sat at our table. We had a right laugh. I don't think I've laughed that hard in ages. I went well out of my comfort zone and just went for it. I'm more shy and retiring normally, and especially like in a big group of people I don't know, because I didn't know anybody when I went there. I know there was a couple of Flosstubers going, and I did say hi to a couple of them, and there were not. I did say hello to another lady that I know is on Flosstube, and one lady, I'm not sure if she actually went because I didn't see her, although she did say on her channel she was going. So yeah, I had an amazing time. These 7 lovely women, we all sat at the table. I think it was all, apart from maybe 2, it was all our first retreat, so we were getting to know what was going on. We had a quiz, we had, so how many stitches can you stitch in 5 minutes? Because we set a record. I don't know if the record was already set, but yeah. So basically asked us to get a piece of fabric or a project and see how many stitches you can do in 5 minutes. I booked the average on our table and did 50. I literally sewed this in hand, and it was one thread, but by the end of it, countdown clock was ticking, and I'm like, I started to shake. So my stitches just got worse and worse. But yeah, I think the average on the table, or the average for the retreat, was 37. Yeah, and I did 50. So yeah, it's just on the corner of my Caroline Manning, which I did a tiny bit of work on. I'm not even sure I did the tiny bit of work at the retreat. I think I might have done that. Yeah, I think I did that one evening, but it's like, it was only like 20 stitches. But I've got that as a reminder of the caterpillar retreat. Yeah, maybe I need to practice my speed stitching for next year. What else? Other than that, life has been lifing. Kids are back at school, and I will definitely go on retreat next year. Well, dates aren't out yet, but yeah, very much looking forward to that. Table gifts. My Smalls exchange. Smallish. So we had 2 lots of table gifts on the table, and I don't think it's in here. I've managed to lose one of them, so I'm really sorry. I thought I put it in my handbag or one of my bags, but I can't find it. Otherwise I would show you. I know we did a boomerang, new terminology to me, but I don't know if it's on, I don't think we posted it on any socials, so can't see that, I don't think, at the minute. So yeah, it's more like a care package, so tissues, wipes, cream, some sweets, which now I've seen them I want to eat them because I haven't had any lunch. So refreshers, drumstick and toffee, some masking tape, not masking tape, washi autumn tape, which is lovely, and my notebook, and then a little tin with a magnet, some clips, and needle thread. Oops. There is also a little zipper pull in there with a key. I haven't decided what I'm going to put that on yet. Oh, I don't know where the clip went. So yeah, the retreat was so inspiring. in many ways. Oh, there's a clip. Like the brag table was amazing. I didn't actually put anything out on the brag table because I hadn't bought anything framed with me. I think if I hadn't gifted my aquarium, I would have put that in. But yeah, there were some amazing stitched pieces there, and the winners are well deserved. So my smalls exchange, so that was my first smalls exchange, and I put just a pillow in, and I thought we didn't have to wrap it up, but yeah, I did get a gift bag. I haven't asked if I can share the person's details, but I won't. So hand cream, tape measure, and a scissor fob. It's got like a little mushroom at the bottom. I think I did put on Facebook, so I think I know who made it. I don't know if that's handmade or whether like home handmade, or whether somebody else did it for her. Right, I got a little dragon. Love the trim, and then it's that fabric on the back. So that's going to go in there because I need to. I'd like to do some smalls next year to fill that up, I think. I'm starting to sit on things. Right, I don't know, I'm saying a lot. So I'm going to kind of drift into haul, but I'll start with the retreat haul first. So we all got a Caterpillar retreat bag with the retreat project in. The little needle minder, which I'm going to put in here now because I had it on a different project. So I got with the sponsors, we got each got a fabric. I got a 28 count cashel in Country Vintage Mocha, which I feel like I've seen quite a lot of Country Vintage Mocha, so I was a bit like, oh, it's Country Vintage Mocha. But I haven't actually got any 28 count, so that's fine. I have got a project in mind for this, and now I'm starting to think about that again, so that's in haul. We also got a little free gift from Megan, Coffee Craft Fabrics. I haven't actually taken this out of the packet. It's a little 32 count 6x6, so great for a smalls exchange. It's nice neutral. So there's some gorgeous little fabrics going around. Pop that there. We also got a scissor fob, not the scissors, just a scissor fob. It's got 2025 on there. And I think that was from needleminders.co.uk, which I think is Megan's other company. I think that's who that was from. There were some like vouchers as well in there. If I see anything else, I'll tell you. Right, what else did I get? I was very naughty at the Caterpillar stand. So I got some red scissors, koala needle minder, which I think I know which project I'm stitching for my dad next, which is the country samplings koala. I'm not sure I've got that in the right place, so I'll be using that. The sewing machine and the seahorse. Sorry, I know I'm being really quick with those. I got the 2 sizes of, they call them hoop buddy, but like a little wooden board that goes on the back of your hooped framed kit, and there's 3 in each pack, so it's 6-inch and a 7-inch, and we did get retreat prices on this stuff as well. I got the only Adventures Await kit that I hadn't got, which is the Australian one, and I've got that on a 28 count even weave, although I'll probably swap it out for the 32 count that I've done the other ones in. Oh So Crafty, which was part of one of their subscription boxes, and it's on a 16 count Ada. I think that's all she must have had left, because about 16 or 14, there was a 32 count option. This is also on a 16 count Ada, which was the Ocean Wonders. Love that. That is, I think that's it from the caterpillar stand. Put that there for a second. I'm trying to separate these by vendor. I kind of jumbled them all up a little bit. And that's right, so I've just cut to this bit, so I can show you these. So Pip and Chip were vending there. I love their stuff. So I got the corner gauge, and it says because I said so. And I also got the turtle tin. It's just a plain tin. They also gave us a voucher to spend online. I love their stuff. There are lots of different tins, trays, stickers, bobbins, they've got inserts that go into Beasley drawers, all sorts. I really love their stuff, and they're a small business. I think it was actually their first retreat. They did amazing. A bit overwhelmed. I've got thread on me, which I think I know what that's from, but I'm not entirely sure. So Megan from Coffee Craft Fabrics was there. I haven't even opened one of these. That's really bad. I know one. No, they're both Christmas as well. Okay, so I picked up 2 fobs. They were both labelled Christmas. Yeah. Oops. Don't drop it. It's gone down between the cushions. So I need to find a home for those, which isn't down the side of the sofa. I've got that there. And Sainsbury's are here, so 1 minute. Right, so as I was saying before, Sainsbury's man turn up. Making from Coffee Craft Fabrics was at the retreat, and I picked up almost 2 identical fabrics, but they're not. This is a 28 count even weave. So it's greeny brown pink. So you could go autumnal or spring maybe on this. Got nothing in mind for it. And then this is another 28 count even weave. This is more like a yellow, peachy, purpley pink. It's more mottled than it's showing on camera. This was the retreat exclusive, and it's a 28 count opal even weave. Oh, I love that, but I don't know what I'm going to stitch on it. It's like a blue, almost turquoise with a pink. Mermaid? Maybe a mermaid. I had the freebie from Nerida, but yeah, maybe. I also picked up, this is a 28 count linen. Oh, doesn't like that. I'd say it's less mottled than it's showing. It's not got that big light blue patch in the middle that you can see. Let me bring it a bit closer. Maybe, I'm not sure if that's quite showing it. Yeah. And this is 32 count linen. Now this is a bit more out there. Don't know what I'm going to stitch on it. That's showing a lot more pink than it is. A hell of a lot more pink, because even my top's got a bit pink. It's more of a deep red with black, I would say, rather than purple. And that bit is, yeah, still coming a bit more pink than red. So that's what I got from Megan. And then one of the ladies on my table got a 36 count, I think this is a raw Edinburgh linen. I had to say Edinburgh, but I think it's raw. Because there's not even a sticker on the back to say it is raw. Well, I normally put like a code on there, but they haven't put anything. So that's what that is. So she asked anyone if anyone on the table wanted it. I put my hand up. I think at the table I might have been the only one who didn't stitch on just Ada. So yeah, alright. So thank you very much. So looks were there. You've already seen the needle minder. This is the bag. And she was doing like a bundle price. It's right, it feels like there's something in the corner, but there's not. she was doing scissors, a thread gloss and a needle minder for a bundle price, and I picked up a black pair with the heart, which you've got to live in there, and then a turquoise pair. She did have red, but I think she sold out of them, and she sold out of Spice Plum was the one I wanted. I ended up with Candy Cane. Yeah, which just smells lovely and minty. I've not used this yet, and I've got the other one out of my cotton and clay box to use as well, but that just reminds me of Christmas and stuff, so so that's that. I also picked up off the sock shop Exotic Butterflies by Dimensions. It's a full kit with navy Ada 18 count. I really like that. I like the colours in it. I picked up this Victorian pocket. To go with that, I've got a scissor fob that's like that. I don't know what I'm actually going to put in it, because it actually says suitable for mobiles, MP3s and more, and that's the approximate size. My phone's bigger than that, but I'd definitely like to stitch it. I could turn it into a needlebook maybe. So yeah. I also picked up Cottage Garden Country Cottage Needlework Lovely Home. There was another Country Cottage, but it come out of its packet was just the front cover was around, and then I picked up the 3-in-1 bobbin, which was just a freebie off a magazine, which I actually really wanted the magazine when it came out and then couldn't find it, so I was happy to pick that one up. That's it in terms of retreat haul. Yes, there was a lot, I know, but I did save up my money to go and spend. Right, other bits of haul, because not enough, is there? So before retreat, I picked up the Tiny Modernist Tea Goddess, but I also picked up a Biscornia as well at the same time. She's a old cassette player tape one. I also picked up a Gilmore Girls inspired and also I had a look at Happy Sloth and picked up another Stargate one, which is a bit smaller, potentially for the mother-in-law, or the husband equally. I also picked up a sloth. I also like the panda that says nope. I don't think I've got that though. I picked up the fabric for Tiny Modernist, and I also picked up a piece of 28 cashel white linen, possibly to put Modern Folk Embroidery Nightingale if the piece aren't big enough. If the piece I've got there isn't big enough. I thought I picked up two, but I clearly only picked up one. Stretcher bar for my canted canvas stuff that I haven't picked up lately. I think I picked that up ages ago and didn't show you last time. I picked up my notebook for next year. I'm going to change my layout a little bit for next year. Like I'm going to have the month and then note pages in between, rather than trying to flip backwards and forwards to what to show them. Flosstube last month and things. I also joined the Cotton and Twine PDF monthlies because I love Crochet Go Go, and picked up. So I got this one. Don't know if you can still get it, but it's £7 a month. It automatically signed me on to the next one, which I don't know what that is yet. That's this month. I might have signed up to the Caterpillar Cross Stitch box as well, so might be getting that one. As well as the All-Star membership, which I can't show you. Well, the needle minder's over there, and then the charts are digital. I haven't printed them out, a front cover out yet. I think that's it. And I know I've raced through it, so apologies if you feel I've gone at the speed of light. I really like to get some stitching done before someone comes home, which is about 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't know where today's gone, it's just flown by. I'll be back, where are we, end of October. Potentially the end of October, maybe the beginning of November, depending on what we do in the last week of October, because the kids will be on holiday again, and I'm sure I'll have lots to show you. Hopefully a lot of progress on my monthly stitching goals. Not promising a finish, although I guess I could get the dog project done. Yeah, that could easily be a finish maybe. But I'm sure whoever I decide to pick up along with the baking game, just when you thought I didn't have enough to show, there's more. This was ordered before the retreat, so they're stuck together now as well. Oh no, that's terrible. Right, I'll try to move it out of the way. I ordered from Crafty Emily 3 of the needle minders with the like thread drop on the bottom, basically from monochromatic stitches. These are amazing. She's even got like a fancy button on the back. This one, same, and this one, and then she threw in extra, she's like a little slice of Battenberg. Cat wants to call it Bakewell then. I mean, I guess it is almond flavoured. And then I suddenly realised that a chart that I've been wanting to get for ages was not available anywhere. So I set up an alert on eBay, and Trudy Ann Designs, or Jeff P. Smith on eBay, came to the rescue, and it is Cinnamon Stars by Plum Street. So I'm looking forward to doing that at some point. I think there's a lot of call for that are all over dyes. It's either Weeks Dye Works or Gentle Art, so I might have a look and see which bits I'd like the variegation in, and which bits I'm not so bothered about, and then just choose the threads accordingly. Right, hopefully I won't find any more while I'm packing up, so bye again.